Hello everyone, you're watching MTG Rocks. My name is Brian McCormick. Today we're going to be playing Temur Elementals, and I've got something special for you today. We're going to be doing a metagame challenge versus 4 other of the top decks in the meta. I'll be playing against my friend Jake Viper, who also streams on this channel. This deck is basically based around Risen Reef and Omnath and other elementals that synergize really well with those cards. It placed 3rd in the Star City Games tournament this past weekend, so I think it has a lot of promise in the meta, and I want to see how it does versus some of the other more popular decks. Alright, so we're going to do best of 3, so it'd be like just like you were at a F&M or a traditional paper game. Alright, so we'll play first. We won the coin flip. And I will keep this. Alright, so we don't have blue mana yet. I'm going to play the Stomping Ground tapped. Alright, so our first match is against the Orzhov Knights, one of the decks that we saw quite a bit in the top 8 at Star City Games. And we're going to lead with the Leafkin Druid. The new Orzhov Knight deck is based heavily around the new Thorn, which is quite powerful in the vampire build. Alright, so I think we'll go ahead and block here. He's likely just attacking to get that additional damage through, since we do lose life on the attack. Now the Ebon Legion, the other strong card from the set. So still no blue mana. We do have 4 mana available this turn. I'm going to go ahead and play Overgrowth Elemental, put a counter on Leafkin, and then Leafkin will be a little bit better of a blocker, but no attack. So I think what our plan here is for this game is we want to play Chandra and wipe the board of our opponent's vampires. And we're 2 turns away from being able to do that. I would like to draw blue mana so I can play Omnath and kill probably the Ebon Legion. Ebon Legion is really strong. It gets +3/+3, and if an opponent lost 4 more life, you get a +1 counter on it. So it can get pretty big. For a 1 mana creature, it represents a lot of value. Nice. Then he's got Thorn. That's one of the reasons why you run this deck. So looks like he's going to kill our Overgrowth Elemental here.
Thank you for your service.
And he does. No attacks. Okay. Alright, so I'm very happy with the Steam Vents draw. That'll let me play Omnath. And we can deal 2 damage to something. I think we want to kill the Knight of the Ebon Legion. That card gets pretty powerful pretty quickly. And then I want to deal with Thorn eventually. So we're going to attack Thorn for 1.
I cannot be killed.
Alright, so next turn we can play Chandra. That's going to let us kill Thorn potentially. We may just wipe the board of our opponent's vampires. Mortify on the Omnath. Alright, so Thorn's not really good on an empty field. So, I think we'll just deal 2 damage to the Sky Marcher Aspirant.
I know who I am, and no one is telling me what to do. I've got a burning desire to finish you.
We're a bit top decking here. We are a little bit flooded on land. But our opponent's top decking too, and Orzhov Knights, I don't think that top deck's quite as good as we do in general. They do have the 1 vampire that draws cards equal to the number of vampires he controls and loses that much life. So that's the key card for him to draw. I'm just going to continue to tick down Chandra to deal with our opponent's threats. And I think this is a board position race, so we're just going to keep attacking Thorn here.
Weak.
I wouldn't mind getting some Risen Reef action going. Omnath wouldn't be bad either. It draws us cards later in the game. Ooh, Bona. Quite nice. He has a big life total, so he can start using that Bona to pay life and destroy my permanents. So we really need to draw something quick to deal with Bona. Cavalier of Thorns. Not a bad card. So we could deal 1, 2, 3, 4 at max to Bona. Not quite good enough. Alright, let's Cavalier, hit a land. Alright, we have some targets for when Cavalier dies at least now.
Hope it's not too hot for you.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that 8th land in my hand. I don't really see a reason to play it. It's nice to see Vona getting played. I remember it was seeing play when it first got spoiled. I think Brendan DeCandio on Star City Games. I think I saw him play that in the tournament, although I'm not sure if he topped 8 with that or not. Legion Lieutenant? Okay. So he can sacrifice a Legion Lieutenant to kill the Chandra, and then use Vona, pay 7 to kill Cavalier.
My bloodline flows through you.
We can shock that Legion's Lieutenant, maybe as a trick, double block the Vona to kill it, although it does have Vigilance. So... Alright, so if we double block, he can just tap it, pay 7 life to destroy one of our blockers. Let's see what he does first. So I'm going to shock the Legion Lieutenant. Well, let's see if he taps it and destroys my Cavalier. Okay, he does. Alright, so what do we want back? Living Twister is pretty good. I'm going to take the Omnath on top. I get to draw a card when I play my 8th land. And then we'll just chump Bona, so Chandra lives another turn. Alright, so we'll play Omnath. And, how much damage can we deal with it? Just 1? I guess the Thorn.
Mortals never learn.
Alright, we'll play land. Draw a card. Alright, so now we can kill Vona because we got Lightning Strike and Chandra.
Boom! Exploded.
Pretty intricate game we have going. Fairly interesting. A lot of top decking is going to depend on this game. Champion's a good top deck, but he only has 1 Vampire. But it's probably, other than Vona, that's probably the best top deck for him at this point. Thorn would probably be the worst top deck for him, other than land. So we get to draw a card. Alright, so I guess I'll just attack Sorn here. which has been a pain in my side for quite a long part of this game.
That was the act of a coward.
So if we pump this up, it gets +2 to put it at 4 power, not quite enough. Ooh, Legion Lieutenant, okay.
My bloodline flows through you.
I don't think I'm gonna jump here. I'm actually suspicious whether he'll attack or not, or whether he wants to save the champion to chump Omnath. Alright, so I'm fine with no blocks here. Another Omnath. Interesting. Alright, so we get to kill Thorn here. Then I'll play this Omnath. And kill the Legion's Lieutenant. I'm not sure if I did the right play there. Ooh. Alright, well, we didn't get much there. Maybe we should have been attacking its life total. The thing is it gets lifelink, so we can't really raise the Soren. I'm not sure how we kill 7/7 Champion of Dusk either, other than a lot of card advantage. Alright, so let's see. We could play something in our graveyard. Instant or sorcery. We have Lightning Strike and Shock. I don't think that does it.
Chandra, you need more control. Psh, just let me burn. Oh, they're so cute.
Do not defy aristocracy.
Well, that Chandra element's not doing much, is it? Alright, so, yep, that's the game.
Your lifeblood is sweet.
Alright, well, let's see how we want to sideboard versus this matchup. I felt like that was a pretty close game. The deck did pretty good. It just came down to top decks once we stabilized. Alright, so... Cindervines. Not a whole lot of artifacts or enchantments I care about. Flame Fleet might be pretty good. It's got a lot of small vampires. If I can get a Flame Sweep early, that might be good. Disdainful Stroke could be good versus the vampire that draws cards and Bona. What do I want to take out? Living Twister is a decent blocker. But maybe not necessary. It does let me do a lot of damage late game though. I think maybe Chandra is better in the control matchup, although it does work really well with Risen Reef. Perhaps cutting one Living Twister. And cutting down to one Chandra. Alright, we'll try this. I don't see a lot in our sideboard for this matchup, really, other than Flame Sweep. We do have Shock and Lightning Strike main deck, which is good. Removal. Alright, so one land. We have to mulligan that. Alright, so we got a fair amount of removal. What do we want to put back? We go first. I mean, Cavalier, I think, is pretty good. But I'm going to put it back. I think I do want 3 lands. And the removal spell seems like they're a premium here. Looks like he mulliganed as well. So I'll lead with the Leafkin. Next turn I can both play Shock and Lightning Strike, and he can't quite pump up Knight of the Ebon yet. Difficulty Honor Guard, so our ETB effects don't happen. Pretty good sideboard tech versus us. Do we want to Lightning Strike the Honor Guard? But we don't really have any ETB cards, and it's just a 1/3. And it's not a vampire, so I don't really care to kill it yet, but it does blank a lot of our cards. So we probably do want to kill it. Alright, so I'm going to try and use up all of his mana this turn by blocking and then having him pump, and then I shock it in response. Alright, so yeah, now we shock in response. And then I'll kill the Honor Guard. Alright. Alright, cool. So we get the ETB effect from Risen Reef. Another Risen Reef. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't have another one in hand. Even if he does, we do have a Lightning Strike for it. And this Risen Reef will trigger twice, giving us some good card advantage. Cast down. Okay. Yep, I would definitely kill Risen Reef if I were him. Alright, yep, let's do another Risen Reef. We could keep up this Disdainful Stroke for Bona as well. So not much going on for us. We kind of want to draw a Chandra or something on our top end. Alright, we'll Lightning Strike that again. And another Risen Reef, okay. Well, that's card advantage, so. Ooh, Chandra. That's nice. And we'll attack for 1. So next turn we've got Chandra. That should be able to answer most threats from our opponent. Alright, we'll Disdainful Stroke a Johnny. Play Chandra.
If you haven't heard of me, then get ready to meet my flames.
Emblem. Could we have played? I guess we could have played Leafkin.
No pressure.
Got 2 triggers, and then 3, 4, and then, yeah, we should have played our Leafkin first. Then we would have got 2 triggers off of, Risen Reef with Leafkin, the Leafkin Druid in our hand, because we would have 4 creatures in play. A little bit too excited on my end to play Chandra.
Defeating you will
So,
not bring pleasure.
Ooh, Champion of Dusk. Okay, so he cheats in Champion, draws a card. Alright, well, it looks like it doesn't matter too much. We're still going to get the 2 triggers off of this Leafkin, so we're not punished for that. And, 2 lands anyways. Alright, so what do we want to do here? I think we want to kill the Champion. So we'll kill it.
Utterly is the best way to destroy things.
And attack Thorn and attack our opponent.
vengeance will come.
I'm gonna keep this land for Omnath triggers. So I got Trailblazer. Let's get the Risen Reef triggers before we do anything else. Alright, sweet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we want to kill champion with Omnath? I think we can win the game here. So alright.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Alright, so let's play a land. Play Omnath. Wish we could have played the land after Omnath. Two, 3, 4. Okay. Alright, I think we could have played that out better, but you can see the Risen Reefs are pretty crazy in this deck and provide a lot of card advantage. I kind of want to add Shifting Ceratops to this deck as like an additional threat. Those Honor Guards seem to turn off a lot of cards in our deck potentially. But we do have Cavalier of Thorns. I'll keep this going. Seems like a pretty balanced hand. We'll keep this. We've got Lightning Strike and Risen Reef. I believe our opponent mulliganed. Yeah. Could also lead with Trailblazer into Risen Reef, but I'd rather lead with Lightning Strike into Risen Reef because then I could get a extra trigger off Overgrowth Elemental or Trailblazer. None of these are really juicy targets though. Yeah. If that was a Ebon, I'd kill it, but I'm not really excited about Lightning Striking Aspirant. Noxious Grass. Okay. Alright, well, let's get our Risen Reef stuff going on. Sweet. So we get a ramp. And do we want Overgrowth Elemental on top? I think the life gain actually might not be bad for us. Looks like we're heading to race our opponent as well. So next turn we can play an Overgrowth and Lightning Strike something. Plus we get a trigger on the Overgrowth with Risen Reef. Nope. We'll probably take Chandra. I mean, we've got 2 Lightning Strikes, so... yeah. Alright, no blocks. Alright, so play Overgrowth Elemental. Put a counter on Risen Reef. Ooh, and then get a land into play. Nice ramping for us. Let's attack for 2. Pay 2 life there. And we'll likely Lightning Strike during his combat step. The next turn we can Elemental and Lightning Strike again. Ooh, probably gonna take out that Legion's Lieutenant. Alright. Yep. Alright, so we'll get some triggers off of Risen Reef. And let's get some more Risen Reef triggers. I don't think I need a Lightning Strike that anytime soon. Alright, so our life total is at 10, our opponent's at 16, but if we do chomp with Leafkin Druid and it dies, we gain some life. Honor Guard, well that'll stop our Risen Reef triggers, but we do have Lightning Strike to kill that before we play Risen Reef. Alright, so he scooped. So we managed to beat Orzhov Knights. Game 1 was pretty close, but we ended up winning, but we won the last 2 games. Alright, so let's play a different meta deck. Alright, I'll keep this. We've got Shock and Lightning Strike. Hopefully we draw a 3rd land at some point. Alright, so we're playing against Mono Blue from the meta this time. This deck plays 2nd, piloted by Ross Merriam, who's one of my favorite players to watch. I think Ross is pretty good. I like watching his versus battles. Mono Blue is definitely one of the harder decks to play in the format. There's many different ways you can play it, so I think that's why we don't see this deck as popular, as strong as it can be. So we could Lightning Strike it now. I think I'd rather get something on the board. It's not like he has Curious Obsession on the Storm Tamer. So we'll play out a Trailblazer, and maybe if he plays a Djinn, we'll kill the Tamer. Mono Blue is one of the hardest decks to play against as well. It's such a tight deck list. And its power level varies a lot based on whether you have Curious Obsession. Alright, so let's get some Scry going. We'd like a 4th land. Ooh, Lightning Strike. I like Lightning Strike in this matchup. It's good versus everything but Djinn. Alright, so if he flashes in the 2/2 dude, I'm gonna Lightning Strike it. Sure. Alright, so we'll Lightning Strike the Trickster. Oh, Spell Pierce, of course. Alright, well that's fine. We did get rid of a Spell Pierce. And again, if we draw a land, we can Omnath to kill a Storm Tamer. Do we want a Chandra? I don't think we want to yet. Let's just play a Trailblazer. Again, we can race the Storm Tamers. Ooh, Scary Terry. Gotta worry about that in a bit. Ooh, Risen Reef. Well, he's pretty much telegraphing he's got the counter spell. So I'm just going to attack. And then I'm going to Lightning Strike at the end of his turn. Maybe free up some mana on my turn for Overgrowth Elemental. So he plays Opt. That tells me he probably doesn't have the counterspell in his hand. So he may have drew the counterspell. Alright, that'll let us play Omnath next turn. Alright, we need to deal with that Terramander. Hopefully we can resolve Omnath. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's one short from adapting. Ooh, but he's got the Curious Obsession. So he must have top decked Curious Obsession. So we could Chandra and play Lightning Strike on the Curious Obsession. Or just play Omnath. I think I'd rather just try and play Omnath. Better overall. Plus you can't Spell Pierce Omnath. So you could have Dive Down. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can use Siren Storm Tamer. Alright. Alright, so we'll attack for 4. Chandra next turn would be pretty big because the elementals will trigger the Risen Reef. Plus they get +1 from the Trailblazer. But we only have one more turn here, so we kind of have to win on our next turn. We do have exactly 12 damage with Chandra. Could also play Creeping Trailblazer. That'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not quite enough. Alright, well, let's try and win with Chandra here. I could also -2 to Lightning Strike the Terramander. But then he could 3, 4, 5, 6. Spell Pierce. Alright, well, that's game. Or, yeah, we don't have any way to beat through that. Alright, so definitely putting in the Shifting Ceratops is pro blue. Flame Sleep strong, doesn't target. Fry is strong. A lot of good sideboard cards here. Aether Gust, that's only red or green. Nothing we care to Disdainful Stroke. And Cindervines. I mean, Cindervines, they do play a lot of spells, so Cindervines could do stuff, but mostly they play creature spells. A lot of small creatures, so. So what do we want to take out here? I think things that our opponent can Spell Pierce, probably Chandra. Cavalier's good. Chandra, I think Chandra is too slow. At 6 mana, our opponent's going to counter that, so we'll take that out. Living Twister could be good. I think we can cut one Leafkin, I think. So we've got a lot of burn here. Alright, I like this. We've got a lot of ways to kill creatures. Against Jhin, we don't have a lot because we took out Chandra, but Cavalier can block Jhin. Omnath can kill Jhin as well. Alright, let's play first. Mulligan. Ooh, man, that's ugly. Alright, we'll try 6. I guess I'll cut an Overgrowth Elemental. Oh, man. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan to 5 there? Maybe with the London mulligan you're supposed to mulligan to 5, but I just never feel like you win when you mulligan to 5. Come on, red mana. Nope. Alright, well, there's the red mana. Alright, I'm gonna play Leafkin, and if he counters it, we get rid of a counter. If he doesn't, maybe we can play Flame Sweep in a turn or two. Aether Gust, okay. I don't want to put it on top. So we get the option to put it on top or the bottom. He's definitely going to sacrifice Storm Tamer in response or dive down. He's got so many cards in his hand. I'm sure he has the answer. Yep. Remember our Ceratops can get reach if we pay green mana. Alright, well, not much hope here. We do have to kill the Storm Tamer somehow, so... because the Storm Tamer will protect the Pteramander. But even then, this Pteramander is going to kill us in 2 turns. I don't even think we'll be able to play Ceratops by then. I guess we could play Risen Reef, try and hit a forest, Drew Forest to play Ceratops and block and pay the mana. And he couldn't adapt the Pteramander because he used the Essence Capture to put a counter on it. Alright, well, that is it for this game. Fortunately, we got mana screwed. I do feel like blue is favored, though, even though we got mana screwed in this matchup. Alright, well, let's play another one of the decks in the meta. I'll keep this. I like this hand. Leafkin Druid, Risen Reef, Lightning Strike, Chandra, and Risen Reef. Pretty great. Ooh. What are we playing against? A blue-black deck. I guess I like Trailblazer. I mean, it works well with Chandra, making those 1/1s, 2/1s. Do I want to leave with Leafkin? That gives me 4 mana next turn. I don't think I care about that extra mana this turn. So I'm gonna Trailblazer this turn. So we're playing against one of the decks in the meta. So it's either gonna be Esper Hero or Esper Control. Most likely Esper Hero. There we go. The top 8 deck from Star City Games. Uses the Tombbound Lich. Pretty good card. Death Touch, Lifelink. Draws and discards a card. So I think here what we want to do is get some Risen Reef action going. And the next turn we play Chandra, get some crazy card advantage. And obviously not attacking the Lich. Some sweet artwork on the Lich. I like the card style for this. Pretty cool. Ooh, Disfigure on a Risen Reef. Well, that hurts our Chandra plan a little bit, but the tokens still get bigger with Trailblazer. He can't play Chandra and Lightning Strike next turn, so I'll probably strike the Lich, attack with Trailblazer and the 2 things. The Lich reminds me a lot of Shadow Mage Infiltrator, except instead of drawing a card, it draws and then discards. But you get Death Touch and Lifelink instead of Fear, and Death Touch is pretty strong. So we need to play red mana. Alright, so we'll play Chandra. He's probably got removal spell. Here's Esper Hero.
Won't lie, I'm a pretty great pyromancer. Go get him, buddies!
Alright, I'll just kill that while he's mostly tapped out. Very Hero of Dominaria. Not good for us.
I am not good. No
No,
time
he did
for a break.
uptick, so we can attack it. Although he does untap 2. So we could Living Twister, discard a land, deal 2 to Teferi. I could take down Chandra, Lightning Strike. Yeah, okay. We're gonna try and kill Chandra, or Teferi this turn.
Hey, that was
Alright,
uncalled for.
then... we're gonna Lightning Strike Teferi. Oh, we have to pay the mana cost too. Shoot.
Remember this one?
Alright, still learning some of these cards. My mistake. I should have attacked Teferi, put it down to 1. But yeah, I didn't realize it made me pay the mana cost for that.
Hold that thought.
My bad.
Hey,
Alright, so we'll make the 2 dudes.
these These little guys are
Then we'll
great.
play Omnath and try and deal forward to Teferi.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Alright. And then we'll attack our opponent for 4. Alright. And now let's see. Let's go ahead and return a temple to our hand. Sure. Then we'll replay it to get the scry trigger. Alright, we'll get rid of that land. So yeah, only a few Living Twisters in the deck, but it seems fairly useful. It's kind of an odd card, but 2/5 body and getting more scries is helpful. We essentially drew a card by getting rid of that land on top of our deck. Plus we get to deal damage with it, so. I feel like we're kind of behind playing against the Esper Hero deck. They usually have more card advantage cards than we do. We kind of need to draw some more Omnath or Risen Reef. Yeah, Command the Dreadhorde is going to be bad for us. Well, he's down to 4 life though.
I won't hide from the world any longer.
I guess we could recast that Lightning Strike. And then return a land, deal 2 to our opponent, and win. Unless he uses Teferi to tuck Chandra. Actually, let's see. We can return... No, he's going to tuck that. Okay. Alright, let's return a temple so we can get another scry trigger in.
Not so fast.
Alright, now we'll scry. Ooh, Chandra. We'll keep that on top. Alright, so... We can kill Teferi or the Lich here. What do we want to kill? This does have lifelink. I'd rather kill the one with lifelink. He's gonna draw a card either way next turn, so I'd rather him not gain a life in addition to the card draw. Be a little upset if he casts Spell Pierce when I have this Breeding Pool in my hand, but I'm saving it for Living Twister discard.
I know who I am, and no one is telling me what to do. Alright,
I'm going to get that emblem up because I think our opponent's at the low life total.
Is it just me?
Oh, I forgot, you
Is it
can't
getting a
counter
little
Chandra
warm in
too,
here?
so he couldn't counter it. He can counter the Living Twister though. So he is running Esper Hero, so he can... There are life gain cards in the deck, I believe. So he can gain life out. You know, Elite Guard Mage, that's one of the ways you can come back. Double Elite Guard Mage, pretty good. I could -3 Chandra. I think I'd rather stack emblems.
get toasty.
Alright, let's scry again. Don't want that.
Hurry!
He could have used Teferi to tuck my Chandra as well. So there is the question in games whether you race your opponent based on tempo of life totals or whether you race them based on card material.
I like your energy.
I decided this game with Chandra to race him based on tempo because he was at such a low life, but I could have chose to race him based on material, which is killing the guard mage and killing the Teferi.
Is it just me, or is it getting a little warm in here?
You can't use Teferi to tuck.
We need to move quickly.
Alright, so he didn't draw the life gain card. So we managed to win going the tempo route rather than card advantage. Alright, sideboarding. Definitely want to put in the fries, disdainful strokes, shifting ceratops potentially. Cindervines. Do we want to use Cindervines? It's essentially a creature-based deck. You could run like Ixalan's Binding and things like that. Let me look up what the Star City Games build is here really quick. For the most updated list. Alright, so the 8th place Esper Heroes. Non-creature spells main deck. Both Teferis, Cast Down, Despark, Disfigure, Tyrant Scorn, Ult of Kaya. Thought Erasure. So the only creatures are 3 Elite Guard Maids, 4 Heroes, 3 Tombbound Liches, and the sideboard 2 Hostage Takers. So yeah, I think a few Cindervines will deal good damage over the course of the game. I think we can take out the Leafkins. Probably take out the Overgrowth Elementals. Well, it triggers well with Chandra. Don't need the shocks as much. They don't hit as much. And take out one Living Twister, I guess. Maybe I'll put one back in later. But we're running out of time, so we got a board. We'll see if the Cindervine strategy works. I think what I like about Cindervines is it deals a lot of damage over the course of the game, potentially. And our opponent doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with that kind of card. Yeah, so I think our opponent has a lot of removal, so instead of leading with Trailblazer, we'll lead with Cindervines. Ooh, he'll probably take it with the Duress. If he doesn't take our Chandra, though. But our Chandra works pretty well with the double Creeping Trailblazer. Alright, so Creeping Trailblazer. Next turn we got Chandra action going. We do have to watch for Dovin's Veto. Thought Erasure. Alright, that's going to take our Chandra. So the deck doesn't run Cry the Carnarium, just Kai's Wrath. Yeah, okay, so we can play double Creeping Trailblazer. So he's picked our deck apart with Duress and Thought Erasure, which is one of the strategies of Esper Hero, especially post sideboard. Alright, not too confident this game's going in our favor. He's got a full grip of cards, and we haven't really established any fantastic board state or put a lot of pressure on our opponent. Alright, let's get some more scry action going here. Do one on top. Not really. I mean, it's not bad, but it doesn't help us get through Tombbound Lich or Elite Guard Mage much. Alright, let's see if Risen Reef resolves. It should. There's no counter spells, as I'm aware, in this deck for creatures, so. Ooh, Omnath. That's nice. And we'll get a Scry trigger. Put that at the bottom. A Risen Reef, not long for this world, I'm sure. Alright, I will play the Omnath before my land. Get a trigger from that, put a counter on the Risen Reef. I assume he would have killed my Risen Reef already. He had removal. So let's just try and get through the most damage we can by putting all the counters on Risen Reef. Kai's Wrath maybe incoming. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why we did max damage. Sweet. So we have game this turn. We will play Shifting Ceratops. We will give it haste. Attack for 5. And Lightning Strike for lethal. Alright. So a pretty good game for us. Both games versus Esper Hero. So we'll play another game versus one of the meta decks. So far we played against Mono Blue, Esper Hero, and Orzhov Knights. Play first. Looks like a pretty good hand. I'm happy with this. Alright, so We'll play our Steam Vents tapped. Right, so a blue-green deck so far. And what do I want to play here? Leafkin Druid or Elemental or Risen Reef? I think Leafkin Druid, since Risen Reef is in play, that'll help me play out more stuff with more mana. Since Risen Reef draws cards a lot of times, and we need the extra mana to play them. Search for his Kanta, so we're playing against the Nexus deck, most likely. Alright. So, let's get a Risen Reef trigger. I could tap the Druid, although I didn't. Against this deck, my life total is irrelevant. Alright, so next turn I can play Cavalier of Thorns. Could also play Risen Reef and Creeping Trailblazer, which might be better. It'll pump my stuff up. Callous Dismissal, okay. I still get another trigger from it, but that slows me down some. Alright, so we'll still play Risen Reef. Put it into play. Play Trailblazer, get a Risen Reef trigger. So against Simic Nexus, our strategy is to kill Tamio, deal as much damage as quickly as possible. Remember, they have fog effects. I believe they usually have 4. If we're playing against these Star City games, top 8 build. Is there a top 8 build? It looks like there's a 10th place and 11th place Simic Nexus. Ooh, Wilderness Reclamation. So they run 4 Root Snares. That's it, main deck. Alright, so I'm gonna shock that token. We could potentially win with Omnath damage. Maybe I want to play Omnath last. So let's play Risen Reef. Ooh, Chandra's good. Then we'll play Overgrowth Elemental. We'll make the Trailblazer bigger. Chandra could be good. If we get the Chandra emblemed, then our opponent won't be able to win with Nexus. So we just need to hope that he does an infinite combo next turn. We just need to live next turn, play our Chandra, and use the emblem. Because every new turn he gets a new upkeep, and he gets dealt 1 damage. He does have Wilderness Reclamation, so he could technically play Nexus's turn. However, he doesn't have an engine going quite yet. Search for his Kanta hasn't flipped. Alright, so we will get a next turn. And I think when we emblem Chandra, we should have a good chance of winning. Alright, so it's uncounterable. And that deck doesn't run counters anyways. Right.
Let's make this quick.
Let's emblem immediately.
Oh, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
And wouldn't surprise me if he played Root Snare here. Yeah, that's fine. We're getting the emblem damage with our Chandra. So he doesn't get rid of the damage. So he's got to somehow win in 14 turns, whether he has 14 in a row or not. He can't get rid of the emblem. So he would have to play his Nisa probably and out-damage me. Perhaps I should have left back some of my creatures as blockers to prevent that from happening. The search still hasn't flipped. However, if he has a Nexus of Fate in his hand, he'll be able to flip search soon. So yeah, it looks like he's got the flip and the Nexus in hand. Nope. Yeah, he still can. Yeah, he's still got enough mana. Temple of Mystery seems like a nice addition to the deck. One of the really good additions to this deck is Veil of Summer, which he'll certainly board in. And that lets him draw a card, and if I cast a Blurback spell that turn. And it also makes it so his spells can't be countered. Alright, so we're gonna emblem up.
Hope it's not too hot for you.
And I'm gonna play another one. I just want to make these emblems a big deal.
Ever see a volcano erupt in person? You're about to. Is it just me, or is it getting a little warm in here?
I'll just attack with the elemental. That way I have chump blockers if he gets a bunch of turns in a row. Instead of playing the Chandra, I could have played Omnath and dealt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage to him. Maybe 7 with the Chandra. 1/1s. Alright, so we'll see if the Chandra emblems are good enough for this game or not. We'll see how that strategy works. He's got 3 more turns, so I think we're gonna win. Because I don't think he'll be able to put 18 damage on me in 3 turns, even with Nisa, who shakes the world. Plus, if I block, I gain life whenever my creatures die. So we got 3, 4 life gains, so I'm at virtually 22, in addition to chump blocking. Alright, he takes 3. Goes to 5. Plays Demio.
Like the phases of the moon, life waxes and wanes.
And again, he's got to get Nisa and deal damage to me.
I have learned much from my ancestors.
You can return the Overgrowth Elemental, prevent the life gain. Yeah, you can return the Chandra, but that's not going to stop the emblem damage. And essentially he has infinite turns already, so returning the Chandra won't do anything for him here. Those emblems go off even if the Planeswalkers are gone. And at most, Nisa can do 6-9 damage. Alright, so sideboarding's where it can get a little tricky. We do have some good things here. We've got 3 Cindervines, which acts like another Chandra emblem. Let's see. White or blue, that doesn't kill Tamio. Does it? No, yeah, Tamio's blue. So we do want Fry to kill Tamio. Ceratops has haste, that's okay. Aether Gust is good. Disdainful Stroke is good. So I think we're going to go to try for a more controlling strategy here. Probably winning with our Chandras. There's 1 Mulian Ling in the sideboard. And 3 Shifting Ceratops. I think, let's see, what else do we take out here? I think we do want ramp. I guess I can take out the shocks. I don't think the face burn is where we want to be, although burn is good in general. Probably don't care about Overgrowth Elemental too much though. So yeah. Alright, I think this is good. Cavalier of Thorns, is that what we want? Alright, let's roll this up. We're running out of time to sideboard, but I think we're in the right direction here, and we do have 2 games. The Cindervines is good. Aether Gust, that'll help us return Wilderness Reclamations back. Fry is for Tamios. Can't be countered, although they do get 1 trigger. I'm not sure if we really need to run Fry. Tamio is fairly important though. Dude, and we're a bit mana screwed here. Ooh, Threshing Brontodon. That wasn't in the sideboards for any builds I saw, so I'm not expecting that. And mana screwed still. I guess we'll take out an Omnath. I guess there's 1 in the 11th place build at starts of the games. It ran Biogenic Ooze, Cerulean Drake, Shifting Ceratops. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to win this game much. Alright, well, we've got Risen Reef, so maybe we can try and ramp into our Chandra. Another Thrashing Brontodon. Okay. Alright, looking a little bad for us against two Brontodons. We're not supposed to lose to Brontodon beatdown versus Simic Nexus, but off to a pretty slow start with the Mana Screw. I think we might take out some fries. I mean, they're okay, but maybe we don't want all three, maybe just a few for Tamio. It is an instant speed, and it... No blocks. We do want to get on that the 4/4 before we start blocking with it. Do another Wilderness Reclamation. That means you can draw 4 cards this turn with both. Chemistry's Insight. Probably not going to win this game without the Cindervines. And even if we did have Cindervine, the Brontodons would take care of that. But ramping into Chandra would have been okay. Alright, I'm gonna play Risen Reef first here. We could use that mountain to play Chandra next turn. And we're gonna have to keep this Omnath to block. It may have been worth keeping that mountain just for this Chandra as well.
Dueling you will be excellent research.
So if I were him, I would probably return Callous Dismissal, return Omnath, attack
should be discarded.
with both. I'd be forced to chump the Risen Reef. Yeah. I'd say our odds of winning this game are less than 5% right now. Alright, well, I'm not going to play this out. At this point, usually, if I'm the Nexus player, I'm still heavily favored here. I'm going to drag you all through that. But we're pretty much in a losing position here in that spot. So what do we want to put back in here, knowing that the Brontodons? I don't really see anything. I guess we could take out a Fry. Maybe put in the Ceratops. down to 2 fry, perhaps. Alright, let's try this. Alright, play first. Very interesting hand, 2 Aether Gust. I'd rather it be 2 Cindervines. Interesting. Remember, it only counters the green or red, but our opponent did have the Brontodon, so we can start countering Brontodons with it. Can also return permanents to the top of the deck, so... Alright, I'm gonna get Chandra going here.
Don't worry, I brought company.
Alright, so we'll play Trailblazer. Well, Aether Gust this to the top of our, or bottom of our opponent's deck. I could, of course, wait for a Wilderness Reclamation, but I feel like if he had that, he would have played it. Because Reclamation is usually the strongest play.
These little guys are
Alright,
great.
and we'll get in there for 4. Alright, so now Creeping Trailblazer can start doing some damage. If he plays Tamio, we've got Fry. And we've got Aether Gust, so we've got a few responsive things and threats. Interesting. Okay, what does he have with Flash? Probably Root Snare, right? I guess I'll just let it go through. Putting him at 6 isn't bad. I don't have to pump Trailblazer. Next turn I'll have the mana to Aether Gust and use Creeping Trailblazer. So he plans on killing my Chandra potentially this turn. So this on top of our library, and then we could potentially win, although he may have Root Snare. Still 1 mana away from pumping the Trailblazer. He's probably got Root Snare this turn.
Won't lie, I'm a pretty great pyromancer.
If he doesn't have Root Snare, we have lethal, but I feel like he does, the way his mana's looking right now. Yeah. So if he plays Tamio, brings back Root Snare, we'll fry the Tamio. Ooh, Risen Reef. Okay, sweet. Alright, so we'll play Risen Reef, get some triggers off of the Chandra. I feel like he has two Nexus of Fate in his hand. Alright, let's get the triggers off of Risen Reef.
Oh, they're so
One of the great
cute.
combos of this deck. And we're not going to win with the Trailblazer this turn. So let's just attack and keep the Disdainful Stroke open to counter Nexus of Fate. Usually when you see cards held back, it's either got to be land or Nexus against the Nexus deck. Alright, so this is big for us. Disdainful Stroke, Wilderness Reclamation. It strains him with 2 mana this turn, and Wilderness Reclamation is really big for the deck, so that constrains his mana a lot. In order to get ahead, you have to have Wilderness Reclamation. You can't just win straight up with Nexus. Chandra going to 3 would be fine. We don't really care. Alright, so let's get more Risen Reef triggers.
Go get him, buddies.
Alright, we don't care about our life total, so... Alright, let's play Trailblazer. Sweet. We'll play Cindervines. And we've got lethal damage, so he has to Root Snare. Alright, so now he's got to kill our Cindervines to win. He's got to get Brontodon, and he's got to get Nexus going. Alright, so he can play 2 more spells. So his next spell has to be Brontodon. So I think we'll win. Plus we can just deal 2 damage to him right now. But I'll wait on that. Yeah, I mean, if he casts Nexus, then we just use Cindervines to kill the Reclamation and win. So. Alright, sure. So, then we'll just win like that. Alright, there you go. We beat Nexus of Fate. I feel like this deck has a lot of cards to beat Nexus with Cindervines, with Chandra. So I feel like we're favored in that matchup. The matchups you saw that were difficult, I believe we won all of our matchups but mono blue. We did get mana screwed in that game, but I feel like that's a tough matchup for this deck regardless. And I think mono red can be a tough matchup for this deck. So that's been Temur Elementals. We put it through our meta challenge at MTG Rocks. I'd like to thank Jake Viper for playtesting with me today. And stay tuned for more meta challenges. If you would like us to put any decks through our own challenges here and see how they do, please let me know and we'll see what we can do for you. Thanks for watching.